Okay, this is Randy's sprinklers again, and we're going to do this a little different today. So you guys actually get a chance to see this in operation. So this is the one that I did, I think it's 2 videos ago. And of course it didn't look anything like this. So a couple things have changed, and we're gonna, after this shuts off, then we're going to, or I have to go shut it off, we're going to take and show you the details. Now this is not going very fast, but then there's a good reason for it. The sprinkler in general is working fine, and you see that it has a very slow pace. And in the journal tube, I actually have 2 O-rings down there. Second one more or less to uh, raise the sleeve up just enough so that the stops um, are hitting the reverse lever. But as you see, it moves along very steadily. I had loosened the spring on the arm so that you see the slower pace that you do. But this is really steady. And if I had a nylon washer down there, and I had sent away for some nylon washers, but I probably could take one off of another sprinkler and make that test. But I had to make this test first. And I'm happy to see that it works really well. Now, one of the things is, and let's see. So as you look at it really close, and as the arm hits the body, you see the body has a slight shake in it. Okay. So the problem with not having that O-ring in there, the O-ring being rubber, so basically it slows it down. It just kind of like sticks to the sleeve, and that's okay because as you see, the steady pace and the slowness. Now, if I had a nylon washer in there, that little bit of shake that you see in the body would be too loose, and the thing would just spin on itself and not move, likely. But I'm going to eventually make that test, and we're going to find out. Not today, but I want to show you after I turn this off what that looks like. And I had to make a change in the way the spring was, but as you see, the arm moves really nicely and enough to make a very consistent movement in the body. And again, it doesn't have the deflector on there, but I had taken the diffuser completely out to try and loosen it up and clean it up a little bit. It's still not perfect, but it does get the job done. And I'm seeing very convincingly that the diffuser by itself can be more than enough to diffuse the water enough to keep it from either going too far and also break it up enough to cover the in-between areas as well. So, and this is doing it perfectly. So let's take a look at this from another position. Let's see. And of course, as I said, you know, reverse, the reverse here is not fast, but that's because of that O-ring. And I'll show you that, like I said. So let me go here on the other side. This is operating very much like old school. You know, all these parts are like 50 years old plus, and I'm definitely not complaining about it. Well, I'm sure my neighbor's not complaining about me watering his yard. Now, this was on the stand this morning, and watered the grass for 2 hours, and it worked fine. As you see, it works fine. This is the one with the unusual body that I do not know where it came from. I know it came from um, a pop-up canister, and that's the only thing I know. I do not know the name of it. Yeah, very nice. Okay, well, I'm going to go turn it off, and then I'm going to get the pliers, and we're going to take a look. So I'll be right back. Okay. I find it very interesting how much water seems to get on the lawn just from this little bit of sprinkling, but it does it. So, which basically tells me it's doing a good job. Let's see, maybe I should do this up here. So down here at the bottom, there is an O-ring, and then which is black, and then you have the kind of reddish brown O-ring right here. Making sure you can see that. And of course, I needed just a very little bit of space, but the idea was it had to be so that it would catch this lever, this stop right here. And that was the big issue. Now, when I put a little bit of pressure on there, it doesn't seem like it's really slowing it down because that's very free. Let's see here. Give me a second. And so I took there's the sleeve, and this is just a standard Rain Bird sleeve that was used on the P5 PJ model, and of course that's an O-ring, and then this is an O-ring, and this is a little bit beat up, but that's from years ago. So you don't normally want to put two O-rings together, but in this case it works fine. And so um, we saw it in operation. And when I put that on there and just turn that a little bit like that, there's just enough resistance to kind of like make it firm. So that has an advantage. So probably the next time I make a test with this is I'll replace this O-ring with a nylon washer and see how that goes. And so with that, this is the unusual sprinkler that I was telling you about. And it is unusual. I don't recognize this body because there's no markings on there. There's this marking here, and there's an L there, but still doesn't give me a name. And of course, the arm, which I modified, is the Rain Bird arm from the original Blackbird. As you can see, I pulled this wire. I had to rethread the wire so I could get this, so I didn't have quite the pressure on it. So with that, we will call that a done video, and hopefully you will subscribe and press the like button, and I will hopefully see you the next time. This is the sprinkler that we looked at today.